I mean, this is my third look of the day. But yeah, I am sitting down to do my third video of the day because it is my one day off until next week. And I'm not as ahead on videos as I would like to be because work's been a mess and I've been opening more than usual, so I've not had time to do anything. But this is the look I want to recreate. I think it's like I feel like it's very tropical, very heat wavy, like a heat map almost. I don't have the words for it, but I've literally had this screenshotted in my phone since May 25th. It's June 13th. No, 15th. So, let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to use the Colourpop Cosmetics Matte About Hue palette today. I think I can get most, if not everything, done. So I'm going to take the shade Screwdriver on this end of the brush. I need a mirror. Ow, that was my ankle. And I'm going to start to pack and press that right along there. I don't think I used this brush earlier, so it shouldn't be damp, so it shouldn't make anything look odd. But yeah, no. This is my third video because I'm only good on videos until Friday. Like, that's my last scheduled post, so I would have to, like, get something filmed and imported and exported, like, immediately. So I'd rather just suffer. It's fine. Everything's fine. And then the other end of the brush, I'm going to take some of Lotta Gelato, which is a lighter orange. Why would I know? Who would have guessed? And I'm just going to kind of press that right along the edges. Just to give it a little dimension, little something. But no, I wanted to do my makeup last night, but it did not happen, obviously, and I've been home alone all day, so I didn't like go out and do my usual shenanigans, so it ended up being fine, which is why I forced myself to do 3. I was doing a minimum of 2. I knew that much. And then the tones are going to be slightly different for this. It's only toward. I'm going to go in with some of the shade Ping Pong, I think. I am. Tap that off a little, and then we're going to do some of that, bring it up, not totally up, meeting the orange, and then I'm going to bring it under just a little. I am going to need to do that though, that's fine, everything's fine. I feel so bad because I have like nothing to talk about because I already yapped for 2 hours earlier with 2 other videos, and I've been at work for a week straight. So, there's like nothing going on. Alright, I'm gonna mix some of Say Less with the shade Got Iced, which are the 2 lightest blues and greens. And then I'm gonna do, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, actually. Legitimately, not like oh my god, that's exactly what I wanted. This is, in fact, exactly what I wanted, so I'm gonna use that to kind of very carefully marry the orange. And then I'm also going to use that to blend out these edges here, just carefully. And then same thing underneath here. Again, just I did have, it's so funny because I would never in a million, once somebody leaves the store, even if like they quit, they get fired, yada yada, I don't keep anyone's numbers because why would I? That's weird. And then I'm gonna take a mix of the shade Elephant, mostly Elephant with the tiniest bit of Say Less, and I'm gonna start to put that right, actually I'm gonna do a little more of Say Less and do that there, that way it can blend well with that. Again, mostly Say Less. Get that little lime green popping in there. But you know, last week one of my shift leads was like, hey, you know, I remember there's this girl, I remember her name, I don't remember anything about her, I don't remember her work ethic, I don't remember what she looks like, yada yada yada. I just remember that she was pretty. And that means nothing because women. he's like, you know, I'm like, I remember the name, I don't remember anything about her. He's like, she wants to come back to work here. I'm like, okay. I'm like, tell her to put in an application. I mean, he must have given her my number, because that's, now I'm really taking most of the elephant and say less, and I'm gonna do that right there. Right there. But she texted me today, she's like, oh my god, hey Mia, and I'm like, oh, this is a little weird, but whatever. It's like the girl last week, who I remember her, and I remember she was a good worker, but she still had my number. She had been gone from the store for at least a year and a half. And I'm like, your number's been gone for many, many moons. I'm gonna be honest here. But you know, she wasn't in touch with anybody, so so nobody gave her my number. She just still had it. I'm like, that's weird. I'm gonna be honest with you here. The only person who's quit, whose number I still have, besides my friend, because she doesn't count because I like her, wild. I'm bringing some of, Say Less underneath a bit, is the kid who left in April, and that's because he's a really good worker, so if he leaves the army soon, I'd be like, hey, please come back. I need you. You know? And then I'm taking the shade Lotta Gelato and Screwdriver, and I'm gonna up underneath. There we go. But I'm like, I can't help you unless you put in an actual application. Because I'm like, I don't have access to hire and stuff anyways. And I really don't have access to anything. I still haven't been officially promoted. I still don't have my raise. That's what I'm really actually pissed about. I'm like, so, my raise, huh? But no, corporate has to be in Disneyland, so who knows when I'm getting that. Sorry, this is just elephant again on a better brush. So I'm like, But I'm like, I can tell, you know, the hiring manager, like the assistant district, what's going on, and I'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm like, I can't guarantee you your job, though. I'm like, yeah, sure, you have the hours that I want, open in weekdays. But I'm like, I can't do anything else. And then I'm taking some of the shade So Casual with a little bit of kelp. I'm just gonna do a little smudgy smudge. Like, this is very tropical. I feel like these are tropical vibes. So, slay. I'm gonna do a shimmer. I'm not gonna do glitter glue. Gonna be honest here. Don't care that much. Do not care that much. In fact, I need to figure out what I'm doing for dinner. I ate my leftover pieces of sushi. Oh, I don't even know what the place was called. My mother's like, hey. She's like, I have a bunch of buy one, get one frees. I'm like, I have a 35% off coupon. So we placed 2 separate orders. Got picked up by the same driver because we knew that this was going to happen. So I had like 4 pieces of leftover sushi. I had leftover caterpillar and leftover yellowtail. Oh, I love yellowtail so much. Like, especially when they do the scallion. Oh, that's like the roll. It's like so nice and refreshing. And they had scallions in it like most do, but they also had scallions on top, and I'm like, cinema. Absolute cinema. And then this is the Blend Bunny X Mayping Rodden palette. I'm just taking some of Oxygen and I'm gonna press that up right here, because it just looks a little sad and bare. Just a little. Like, I just needed something, and there's not a bare enough color in there to get me what I wanted. I'm gonna put a little under there, because why not? Just a little. But yeah, I need employees, man. Like, she's like, oh, you know, you don't want to, you know, not have standards, and then, you know, you'll get it, you know, and they're causing you headaches. I'm like, I just need employees. Like, I don't care right now. I really, really don't. Alright, and then this is from Terra Cosmetics. This is the Shingle? This is the single shadow in the shade Terra. Oh, it's so not fun. A guy came in with, I'm assuming his boyfriend, because they called each other babe. I don't know, what a wild concept. He had a laurel wreath around his elbow. I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, that makes like perfect sense placement-wise. And I'm like, oh my god, that's beautiful, fantastic. You know, I was wearing a short sleeve shirt. He's like, oh my god. He's like, I love your Venus. I'm like, actually? He's like, oh my god. I'm like, well, this is the only one I didn't pay for, so that's why it looks considerably better than the others. And it was done by a friend, so it would have, a friend of my father, so it would have been cheaper than, you know, what was actually supposed to be. Sorry, I almost dropped this. And then this is also from Terra Moons. This is the shade Atlas. And I'm just going to do a little bit of that right there. And then right there. Just give it a little something, something, you know? Alrighty. I need to go fix my not fix my bangs. I need to go find some lashes and I should be back in a second. Alright, hello. I'm back with some lashes on. I did a little dallying, but it's like 5:35 right now? 5:45. 10 minutes off. So, hopefully I can get this done and then feed the dog and figure out what I'm eating and take a shower. I need to take a shower. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But this is from Danessa Myricks Beauty. This is the Yummy Skin Glow Serum in the shade Main Squeeze. Figured I might want to look a little beachy and bronzy and a little glowy to go with the whole vibe we have going on with the eyes of like tropical. I feel like a fish. If we're being honest, I feel like a tropical little fish. So yeah. Lost a hair. But it's so funny because I was trying to figure out what to get my father for Father's Day. He's like, oh, I don't need anything, blah, blah. I'm like, I can't just get him, you know, be like, oh, he's interested in this because he probably already has it because he's one of those men that just buys him whatever he wants. And like, that's where I get my money spending problems, but it makes it really hard to shop for him. And then this is from Kulfi. This is the Double Life Serum Primer. Just gonna do a little bit. But, you know, he wears all these tinted aviators. He's like, oh, you know, just get me, you know, a new pair of red ones. I'm like, fantastic. Your options are either a $13 pair on Amazon or, you know, a $60 pair from an actual brand. He's like, oh, you can get me these ones. It was the $12, $13 one from Amazon. And I'm like, you suck. Like, you don't want to, I'm like, that's cheap. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, what about this book that you said you wanted? He's like, $35 is a lot of money. I'm like, it depends on the context, yes. It is a big-ass hardcover book about barbecue. I think I can spare $35. And especially sucks because it's on sale right now for $28. Except, knowing him, there's an Amazon box downstairs that's a little disproportional. I'm like 80% sure it's that because he still hasn't opened it, but he also hasn't been home with time to do it. And then this is from Wet n Wild. This is the Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint in the shade Bare. It is neutral. I'm just gonna honestly take whatever's on here. Doing very light. Gonna use this as a initial applicator, if you will. And then blend it out with the other sides. I don't like blending out with the smaller dense side. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a thing. I mean, it's a thing for me, I know. But I need to figure out what I'm eating for dinner on Thursday too. Because my brother will not be home then either. I think he comes back Friday. It's only through the week. It's not like he left this morning at like 5 o'clock. So I'm assuming he'll be back Friday because he has a shift on Saturday. So Thursday and Saturday I will be figuring out what I am doing on my own for dinner. $100 paycheck. It's gonna be a little less because I did leave like 3 or 4 hours early yesterday. I just was feeling so gross. I'm like, I cannot stay. I'm like, I need you to come in. And, you know, the Mr. Oh my god, you know, if you want me to do slightly longer shifts than usual, just ask me, blah, blah, blah. I went, hey! Like, I want you to do a mid shift. He's like, oh, I was just gonna take the closing shift. I'm like, girl, why would you do this to me? He still came in. God bless. He's a good man, Charlie Brown. And then this is from Patrick Ta. This is the Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral True. I love this with the Wet n Wild foundation. I'm gonna be so skin tint. Just looks so beautiful and perfect. And yeah, I need to figure out what. Like, I know I want to do peachy for the blush and lips. I just need to figure out which colors I am actually doing. Like what products I'm doing, obviously. Also, I might have just ordered a digital camera on Amazon. Well, I've been looking into the Kodak Pixpro ones. I had the F45 and the F55 in my carts. And then because I get a monster subscription every 3 or 4 weeks. Except the last one they sent me was so damaged, and I went, hey, I'm like, I cannot drink this. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, listen, girl. So instead of offering me a refund, they just sent me another case. So it was for Saturday. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, please cancel that. And then it's like, oh, message about items in your cart. And I went, okay. And it's like, oh, Kodak Pixpro 45 went down from $119, I think it was, to $99. I'm like, say less, girl, get in. And there's the red one. And it will be here tomorrow. So, it'll be here in time for Father's Day. We're going to a few farmers markets so I can take a few nice pictures there, see how it works, see how well I like it, and then I can always send it back if I need to. But I'm good on... I'm so very good on SD cards. I don't even know if any of these have anything on them. I know I had a 64 one. I need to go through some of these actually, because these are all from like high school. But yeah. Alright, I had to test out some blush combos, but I think I got the best one. This is from LYS Beauty. This is the No Limits Cream Bronzer and Contour Stick in the shade Hope. This is labeled as neutral, or it's advertised as neutral. How's that? But like a lot of paler bronzers, not really. But again, for this vibe, I do want something very warm and, kind of in your face. I did see, oh no. Sorry. I did see that Rhode came out with new bronzers, and I know I mentioned it, I thought about it for like a second, but the lightest one is like a rosy tone, and I'm like, I don't know how that's going to translate on my skin. I'm going to be so honest here. I'm like, is that going to look too pink? Is it just not going to be rosy toned at all? But then the next shade is not for me. Sorry, switching brushes. So, I didn't get it. If and when it shows up in a Sephora and it's available to swatch, I will. But just for right now, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, if blush tones are a little off, that's fine. I can save them for specific looks. But like, something like a bronzer is pretty, needs to be. Alright, I'm going to start off with the Basma The Cream Blush Pink Yet Coral. I haven't used this in a while. It's like coral. It's also very emollient, so I'm going to buff some into the back of my hand, and then go. There we go. Like, I feel like that's such a good color, but wait, there will be more. So I'm just going to take whatever was still on the back of my hand and just layer that over, just so it doesn't get too... We don't go too hard too fast, I did try to go into... No, I didn't try, I did go. I went into Macy's before I went into Sephora, actually. The other day, Saturday. No, it was yesterday, it was Sunday. because I was out early, so I was able to go. I went to Macy's first because I was like, oh, maybe they have the new Chaperone collection, even though it doesn't say so online. They did. I'm very torn on the Unnatural Redhead shade because it looked almost burgundy, and I'm like, that's not quite the tone that I would usually go for. But I also got to swatch the new blushes, and those are so thin, and I know I could build them, but and usually with the powder blush I just layer them, but I'm like. And then, on the topic of MAC, this is the Beam Liquid Blush in the shade Apricot Jelly. This was gifted to me. I also got it purple. I gave that to one of the Starbucks employees because she was a deeper skin tone than me, so it worked better on her than me. It's like, it was like plump. I'm like, I can't do that. So, same brush, we're just gonna kind of do a little bit of that. It's not gonna add too much color. Like I will, but like not. It's not gonna look as scary as you think it would. So we're just gonna do a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and do not fret. I am in fact fixing the blush in the center of my face. Don't worry. Don't worry, it's fine, everything's fine. Gonna tap a little over this. Actually gonna went too far back on that. Let's see. And then this is from Fenty. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter in the shade Pretty Pearls. Figure get a nice, like, sorry, there's like a brush here somewhere. Ew, I'm sweaty. What was I saying? Nice beigey gold toned highlighter for this kind of look. Alrighty, I'm looking a little too sweaty. So this is from Huda Beauty. This is the Easy Bake Pressed Powder in the shade Sugar Cookie Translucent. Oh, I know. Me using a translucent powder. So funny because this is not scented at all, but their unscented loose one isn't a permanent addition. At least I don't think it is. It's not like sold in store or anything. So we're just gonna do a little, take a look. Was the glue starting to come off on this brush? That could be why. But just make sure to do an extra layer in the... God, this blush really toned down. Alrighty, we are on the home stretch. I did reinforce the blush with the Basma one because it was looking a little dulled. Sorry, there's still a hair on me. This is from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Colored Pencil in the shade Vanilla Caffeine. I was gonna say it's one of the warmest toned lip liners and of an appropriate depth for this blush. So I'm gonna do a little. I wish I had some cake or something. I was gonna say, no, actually what I want is really good BLT, but in my defense, I always want a really good BLT. Like, I had a caprese sandwich with prosciutto last week, 2 days in a row, from the same place, because they're so good, and it was exactly what I needed. I like sandwiches when it's hot out. And then this is from Maybelline. This is the Glaze Oil Balm in the shade Peach Crunch. Hopefully it will. I was hoping I didn't have to put any blush on my lips. Just do a little. It's funny because this is so not actually peachy, based on the fact that it matches my coral blush, but I'm not complaining. Alrighty, I need to go fix my bangs for the 3rd time today, but I will be back in a second. Alright, but this is the finished look. I love this. Like, I am so surprised that I love this. Like, these are colors that I would never put together on my eyes. Like, okay, besides the orange, these are colors I would put together. But like some, and then besides the fact that it's so hot, and obviously yes, I used a more dewy base. Everything's just hot and I'm sweaty. But I adore this, actually, besides my bangs, but that's a bang issue. Also, never let me do 3 videos in a day again. I have filmed 3 times since 10:45 a.m. It is 6:08. So, but like I said, I need to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Money